down towards third man. Avesh Khan does the fielding. They pick up another single. Hughes moves on to 4. 94. 4-5. Those other games will be at the halfway stage now. 30 seconds before the update. Leicestershire made 214 for 6. Good effort, because batting has been a real problem for Leicestershire. And Birmingham are currently 145 for 2 in the 13th over. Ouch. That's against Yorkshire. If those two are won by Birmingham and Leicestershire, I think Derbyshire qualify for the quarterfinals without playing. This one is clipped into the leg side by Brooke Guest for another single. And there's a slip out there by the fielder, but they stick to one. Here comes the update. Yeah, Derbyshire 96 for 5, struggling a little bit. They've lost Hilton Cartwright since you were last with us. Wayne Madsen went for 28, as I told you, and Hilton Cartwright made 27. A bit of a mix-up, and he was run out by Deepak Hooda, who just had to throw the ball accurately to the far end of the ground and run the Australian out on his debut. Alex Hughes is there on 4. Brooke Guest has 13. Guest has just lifted the ball into the leg side, and we'll pick up a couple more. So he moves on to 15. Derbyshire 98 for 5, and we're in the 14th over. And in fact, they get back for 3, which is a little bit of a surprise to me, I have to say, but welcome nonetheless. So they moved up to 99 for 5 with 9 runs off that over. That's good running.
That was really good running, that was. He didn't quite get hold of it, I don't think, as well as he wanted to there, Guest. But well enough to get the free.
Sadly, now Udan has been back and he says, please share your memories of Mohammed Azharuddin. It was here from 92 to 94, and Mohammed Kaif was here in 2002. Sadly, I didn't start watching Derbyshire until 2016. I know that Mohammed Azharuddin, Azza on Twitter, was hugely popular with the Derbyshire supporters as Axar Patel begins a new over from the racecourse end, and that one is pushed by Guest up towards mid-off, and there is the Derbyshire 100 for 5. I've got slightly disturbed. I've got that. What's that bloke who, what was he called? Mika.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's who they're playing in my ears now. I'll just turn that down because, quite frankly, there's no need for it. Axar Patel's next delivery. Just turn it to the leg side. That is a really well-placed shot by Alex Hughes, because they're going to come back for 2. And the ball has stopped 5 yards shy at mid-wicket of the 30-yard circle. He barely touched it.
It's a good shot, that is. You know that there's only one fielder inside the ring on the leg side as well, so as long as you get it straight enough, it's going to be 2, isn't it?
Yeah, well, unquestionably.
There's a little chat going on
There
here.
is. Axar Patel and the wicketkeeper Dinesh Karthik are having a chat. I've just been followed on Twitter by somebody who claims to be Shoaib Akhtar. It isn't him, because he's got 8 followers. It's a Shoaib Akhtar, clearly. They're all Pindi Express. Patel bowls, that's pulled into the leg side, it straight to the fielder though. It takes an awkward bounce, but it's fielded by Sanju Samson. And Alex Hughes picks up another single, moves on to 7, and Derbyshire 203 for 5. Could be a big night for extra follows on Twitter, this.
Could be.
If they can work out who I am. I'm not telling anybody. That one's just pushed into the leg side by Brooke Guest.
It's all right, no one knows who I am.
Well, you're Lauren Tuffrey. You're the Derbyshire women's captain.
Nobody knows who I am on social media.
They will do soon. They will do soon. Lauren and Dave Fletcher with you on BBC Radio Derby and on the club stream, as that one is guided by Hughes out into the offside. And Hughes is going to come back for the second. And again, that's really good running by Alex Hughes. He's not going to go for any more, partly because he's overshot the crease at the far end, but I think also because when the ball was thrown in, it came off his bat, and we all know what that means. You shouldn't really take a run. Well, it runs away to the boundary.
Exactly, you've got to get enough on it for it to go for 4.
You've really got to whack it. You've really got to whack it. Hughes moves on to 9, 106 for 5. I haven't heard that song by Mika for a long time.
Which one was it?
That I Could Be This, I Could Be That one.
Well, that's a great song.
This one's a little aerially into the leg side. There isn't anybody close in now. So He'll trot through for another single. Alex Hughes will pinch the strike because it's the end of the over. He'll move on to 10, and it's 107 for 5 now, Derbyshire. The rate runs off that over, and they're still going along at that sort of just over 7 and over kind of vibe, which will get them to 140, but probably won't be enough to beat the Indian tourists, who will walk away with that marvellous trophy. They won't walk away with it because it never leaves the ground, but the Royal Dalton Cup.
I've not seen that one.
Well, it was last played. It was first played for against the Indian tourists some years ago, but it was last played for, to my knowledge, when Australia came for that tourist for the tour match when Steve Smith made his comeback after concussion.
Yes, we watched that walking around with cups of tea. We did in the office.
That was a really good game. A really good game. I mean, Australia were too good for Derbyshire, but the scoreboard says Umran Malik. He's not gone anywhere near far enough back, surely. Could be Bishnoi again. It is. He's in, and there's a reverse sweep coming out from Alex Hughes there, and he's managed to get it straight to the fielder. That short third man on the edge of the circle.
Oh no, it's happening, Fletch.
What is? Have they started?
It started.
Yeah, I knew they would. All those followers out there, it is Ravi Bishnoi, incidentally. From the city end. Yeah, you'll have doubled your number of followers soon. 108 for 5, I beg your pardon. That one is pulled into the leg side by Brooke Guest for another single. It's a sort of time in the T20 when you expect to see some big hits and all that kind of thing, but because they've lost 5 wickets, these two are just going to have to take it steady. Matty McKiernan, Ben Aitchison, Mark Watt and George Scrimshaw still to come.
Well, Guest is going along nicely as well. He's going to run a ball at the moment. So, and Hughes is just above that.
That's all they really need to do. Oh, now, wow, what kind of shot's that from Alex Hughes? He shaped up for the reverse sweep and ended up dabbing it down to what would have been backward square leg, but ended up being backward point.
That's a very interesting shot.
Isn't it? He moves on to 12, 110 for 5.
If he'd have left it and not moved, he would have been wide.
Yes, so a waste of time, really. He's got a few new shots, as Alex Hughes has been working on for white ball cricket. That one is striking the pad of Brooke Guest. Alex Hughes, who was halfway down, had to turn and run back into his crease. He hit one. Where was that? I'm sure you were there with me when he did the reverse
into
for 6. That was here, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was over into the marquee, wasn't it? That was a great shot.
That was a terrific shot. He's at the non-striker's end now. Brooke Guest waits and pulls this into the leg side, straight out to the man. A backward square leg on this occasion. 110 for 5. 111 for 5. I beg your pardon. Down says, missing Sweet Caroline at the ground. Well, you're the only one who is.
I'm sure it'll come out
it'll be out at some point. It'll be out at some point. Bishnoi, final ball of his spell, bowls, and that one is lifted around the corner and down towards a long leg for 4 runs by Alex Hughes. Nice shot by him. He moves on to 16, 115 for 5. There it is. There you go. Sweet Caroline.
You've got to wait, haven't you?
You're never far away from Sweet Caroline at an English ground in T20 cricket, and I have to say, I can't stand it. I love it. It's a great song. It's a terrific song.
It's just played a lot, isn't it?
I'm just fed up with it now. Absolutely fed up with it now, if I'm honest. Not that anybody cares whether I'm fed up or not. Ravi Bishnoi, 4 overs for 34 runs. Didn't pick up a wicket, but bowled quite nicely. Lancashire need 50 runs from 21 balls to beat Worcestershire at New Row. That could be interesting because Lancashire are 129 for 8.
Wow.
Worcestershire, well, they couldn't beat an egg, in all honesty, but they look like they're going to beat the table toppers Lancashire. Durham made 183 for 8 in their 20 overs up at across at Trent Bridge. Nottinghamshire 26 without loss from 10 deliveries. New over from Malik begins, and it's crashed into the offside by Brooke Guest. It was half stopped by the man at extra cover. He probably wishes he hadn't. He's looking at his hand now, and they get back for 2. That would have hurt because he hit that very well, Brooke Guest.
So it's a good hand. I think that would be pushing for a boundary there if he's not got his fingers onto it. But get the ice out later on, I reckon.
Guest moves to 22. It was Deepak Hooda who's still shaking out that left hand. 117 for 5. Oh, Umran Malik started his run and then stopped it. I'm just thinking, I don't think it's his first over from the racecourse end. Umran Malik. He's on his way in and bowls a short delivery wide of the off stump. There's a swing and a miss from Guest as it goes through to the keeper. He might have been better just trying to get that out to sort of backward point region, mightn't he?
Yeah, I think he's sometimes just trying to do a little bit too much with it. Had a message on Twitter.
Have you? Go on.
From Chandra Prakash.
Yeah.
He said, "Don't worry, Lauren. I got you back. I know who you are now."
Yeah, see? There we go.
Thank you very much.
All those people listening and watching. 117 for 5. You're all very, very welcome. This next delivery from Malik is was an attempted pull by Brooke Guest. He gets a bottom edge on it down to wide, fine leg, or a long leg, really. And he moves on to 23. From 24 deliveries, 118 for 5. This partnership already worth 30 off 24. Cartwright, the last man out, for 27. That run out, slightly messy. Unfortunately, where it was a bit of yes, no with Brooke Guest, and unfortunately, Cartwright had to fall on his sword.
Sacrifice himself, didn't he? Really?
He did really. Couldn't get back in time. Got the dive out. Malik, 3 balls of his spell left. That one's going to run away for 4 runs. Very fine, probably off a glove, certainly high up on the bat of Alex Hughes, who picks up another boundary. Derbyshire moved to 122 for 5 and Hughes up to 20 off 13 balls. It's slowly turning into a very good innings, this, by Alex Hughes. As that run rate just creeps towards 8. 160 would be really nice, and anything more than that would be exceptional. I think there might be a bit of rain in the air at the moment. I'm not sure.
Well, it's absolutely chucked it down earlier.
Didn't
and we
it?
looked outside and we were like, is this game going to be on?
Yeah, absolutely no chance at sort of 3:30, 4 o'clock. Full toss this time that's pushed out into the offside by Alex Hughes. Didn't really make the most of it because he only picks up a single. He moves to 21 of 14, 123 for 5 with 1 ball of Umran Malik's spell to go. 1 for 31 at the moment. Axar Patel, 3 overs, 1 for 18. That's terrific T20 bowling.
Got another question for you here.
Have you?
I'll tell you after this ball.
Next delivery from... Oh, he's bowled him. That's the middle stump out of the ground, and Brooke Guest has gone. And Malik finishes with 2 for 31. That was a terrific delivery. Very, very sharp, I have to say. Certainly looked sharp from here. 123 for 6, 8 off that over. And Malik finishes with 4 overs, 2 for 31. Brooke Guest has gone for 23 off 26 deliveries in the end, bowled by Umran Malik.
Yeah, I think any ball that dislodges a stump is a quick ball, isn't it?
That looked very sharp.
Looked very sharp. I think Guest went to play the right shot there, but it was just too quick for him, and he couldn't actually get hold of it how he wanted to. But it's a nice little knock there as well.
It was okay. Yeah, it was okay. Umran Malik,
nice and steady.
2 for 31. Clearly, it's not Bishnoi bowling next, as it's been highlighted on the scoreboard, because quite frankly, he's already bowled 4 overs, and he's not allowed to bowl anymore. It's going to be Arshdeep Singh.
Question.
Yeah, question. Yeah. I'm ready for anything.
Out of all the current spinners in the world, who are your top 3?
Oh, blimey.
And why?
What?
Such a question that is.
Good heavens above. See, I watch an awful lot of county cricket, and therefore I'm taken away from the international scene. I think Axar Patel's got to be up there. It depends whether you're talking white or red ball cricket as well. Leach has just got a couple of fifers. It's Singh around the wicket left arm, and it's guided, a short delivery down towards long leg by Alex Hughes for a single. Matty McKiernan, incidentally, the new batsman. Yeah, that's a really good question. Really good question that I'm avoiding answering.
I think Rashid Khan's got to be up there.
Yes, no
he
question.
He looks really good, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I quite like from the women's game? I think he's a really good spinner.
Sophie Eccleston.
Eccleston.
Number one women's bowler in the world. There we go. Didn't specify men or women, and we've given you 3 names. There you go. Try and keep it simpler than that, though, for goodness sake. If you want me to answer any questions, it's a Friday night. We're at, I don't know what time we're at. We're at 17 minutes past 8. As this next delivery is right on the leg stump from Singh and turned backward of square by Matty McKinnon for his first run, and he's going to come back for a second after a misfield. And that's a sloppy piece of fielding by Surya Kumar Yadav out there at backward square leg. The other thing I wanted to say was, I should have said it at the top, if I mispronounce any of the India players' names, I apologise.
Yes, I'm going to apologise as well.
Yeah, because some of them I'm not completely au fait with. I think it's fair to say. I don't watch a lot of IPL. I won't tell you that I prefer the PSL, of course, because that'll be very counterproductive as far as the number of followers are concerned. Singh, I don't. Bowls around, I do actually. Bowls around the wicket, and that's guided down to third. Man, it's going to go all the way to the boundary. It is, I thought the fielder might get around there. It's Avesh Khan, but he just couldn't quite make it. He was a little bit finer than I imagined he was. And Matty McKinnon gets his first boundary, moves to 6. That was a nice shot from the leg spinner. It's got to be in the conversation for my favourite spinners. Actually, my favourite spinner for Derbyshire, and there are plenty to choose from, actually, is Mark Watt.
Mark Watt, he's
I do like Mark Watt. I think he's a terrific cricketer.
I do think McKinnon's really come on now from where we first sort of saw him to now.
He's a little more upright in his delivery, which is, I think, is always a good thing. Singh halfway through his third over, bowls. That's on the pads of Matty McKinnon, who whips it away down towards long leg for another single. So we move on to 731 for 6. That over run rate is just creeping up towards 7.5.
I thought somebody had fallen over then. I just looked up and I was like, oh, he's on the floor.
Avesh Khan is just stretching, and he was absolutely flat out on his front.
There we go. Did you see any of the test match today?
No. Why am I being asked a question about that?
Pant's innings today.
Apparently it was excellent, wasn't it?
Batted very well.
Got a century, yeah. They were in a bit of trouble as well, weren't they, at the time?
They were.
I saw 1 or 2 wickets this morning. I did see a little bit this morning.